Hello, Tarot Tube. It's been a long time. And what brings me back? Well, I thought that I would just share some things. I went to Salem. I just came back from a road trip, and the last stop was in Salem, Massachusetts. I did some ancestral work and communed with nature in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Maine, and then this was my last stop. So I thought this would be a nice little thing to come back to the channel because I'm feeling very inspired to get busy again. And I'm just going to share what I did. So when I first got to Salem early in the morning, nothing was open yet. I was coming from Maine, and I paid my respects at the Charter Street Cemetery, which is where the memorial is for the people who lost their lives in the Salem witch trials, which is a very moving place. I've been there before, and it was just as moving this time. So yeah, that was a beautiful way to start. And then I went to the Real Pirates exhibit. A friend had recommended that I give it a try because I've kind of done the usual things in Salem. And it was so inspiring, so inspiring. I immediately started 2 new creative projects, one for my witchy life and one for my real life, that are going to be pirate inspired. And I got this is my little souvenir. Look at this. Is this not fabulous? So this is a modern creation of a craftsperson who is around today who makes these sort of replicas of coins that have been found. And I don't know what to say. It made my heart sing. It sparked joy big time. So I got this. I'm going to try to find a new thing to hang it on so I can wear it when I, want to get in touch with this energy. But also I'm hoping, let's see if this comes out. Yeah, I'm hoping I can find a way to use it as a pendulum. I think I just feel very connected to this. Like I saw this at, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I went around, I did a lot of things, and then I went back at 4:30 or 5 right before they closed and purchased it because it was not in my budget at all. But I got it. All right, so after I went there, I went to a store called Housewitch, Hauswitch, which last time I was there, I didn't get to go there because the hours didn't work out for me. But this time I went. Wonderful people there. I highly recommend to stop at Housewitch if you go there to Salem. Really sweet people. And I picked up this deck. These creators, this publisher, Broccoli Mag, completely unknown to me, which doesn't mean much because I haven't been shopping much lately. But look at how gorgeous this is. And this publisher makes 3 decks. This one, the Flower Oracle, which is the one that I was drawn to. There's also one about the heavens. I think it's called the Celestial. And then there's one about crystals. Look how beautiful this book is. So this really attracted me. There's a board game I've been playing recently called Botany. Am I right? Botany Hunters. And you're a Victorian era person who travels around the world collecting botany samples to bring back to your estate. And this just kind of tied into that energy. Plus, I'm just a gardener. I am Little Miss Queen of Pentacles. That's who I am. So this really spoke to me. And I haven't fully understood the architecture, there's the word, the architecture for this deck, but there are these, see the pink cards is one thing, and then the blue cards are something else. So I'm not sure. It seems to me that if you're going to do a really sophisticated reading, I've just been doing single card draws since I got this, but I think you could separate it into the green, the blue, and the pink, and do a really sophisticated reading that way. Oh, that's a Mary Cassatt painting. Okay, obviously I have not looked at the whole deck just yet. So you could see that the the book is color-coded so you can understand how this works. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to get to know this deck better and to use it. So I've had it for, I guess, 24 hours now? No, longer than that, because I've pulled cards 3 times. So yeah, that's it. That's the Flower Oracle. I'm very excited about this new acquisition. You know, I told myself I wasn't going to do any haul videos. I was going to, you know, work on this consumerism thing. And I will say that the things I'm going to show you are things that really were a heart connection for me. And yeah, we're going to jump back. I'm going to show you something else because I'm not going to make a separate video on this. But if you're in that general area, I have to say, like I said, I'm a gardener. Make a stop at the Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens. They have got this installation with these Guardians of the Seeds. I'm not sure, hopefully the reflection is, and it's these giant, imagine 20 by 20 wood sculptures, bigger than that, huge sculptures of these Guardians of the Seeds. So they are trolls, and they're awesome. They're awesome, and the kids were climbing all over them. They're beautiful, beautiful things. All right, back to Salem, little sidebar there. After I went to House Witch, then I just did my deck shopping. So one of the things about Salem is really cool. Tea. Yes, there is tea. What that? There's a really wonderful tea shop there, and there's also another place that just sells teas, but that's something else. So one of the things that's great about Salem is you can go through, and there's all these shops that they're like tourist shops, but they're for witches. They're crazy. And they have all these decks out, and you can there's demos. So you can look through your decks. And I ended up coming home with 3 decks. These are the 3 decks I came home with. Now, this one I did not need to actually touch and handle and see because I had spent some time studying this one. I'm very excited to actually own it now. There's lots of videos. I'm not going to do a walkthrough. You could see it, but it's just nice to have my own copy that I can reference for historical things when I'm trying to understand stuff. But these are 2 decks that I had been interested in. I hadn't been able to put my hands on them, so it's very nice that I could actually go through the deck, look at the cards, and make sure that I liked them before I got them. So this is a Native America deck, and this is really in keeping with my sort of theme of the year, my anti-patriarchy theme, where I am trying to relook at my decks, make sure that all the decks that I own and use on a regular basis, they just don't feed into this white colonial patriarchy that our country is founded on. So I am of mixed feelings about being a United States citizen under this current regime, and I do feel the need to educate myself, to be in connection with all the other kinds of energies that are true to the place that I'm living in as I navigate my way through the wilds of the political winds that are blowing through our country, which are very disturbing to me. So I was really happy to find this deck, and I'm not totally in love with the imagery, but it does tell stories, some of which I'm familiar, some of which I am familiar, and some which are going to be new to me. And I did, sort of do a little bit to look at who the creators were. And I feel like, the creators they have connections with this community, genetic as well as understanding. So I feel like this is authentic enough. Doesn't feel appropriative to me. So I'm very happy to have this. And I'll put that one to the side. I showed you the Flower Oracle. Now the Haindl Tarot is something that I knew of its existence. I wasn't sure that I needed it or wanted it, But then when I saw it on the shelf and there was a demo deck and I could handle it and look at it, I said, let me take a look at this. And I think maybe it's something that I want to have. So here it is. As I said, I'm sure people do walkthroughs of these things, so I'm not going to do it. It's a US Games deck. When I opened it up and looked at it and I saw that the booklet was based on works by Rachel Pollack, which I didn't know. I mean, maybe it was in the back of my head someplace, but then I was like, oh, sold. Rachel Pollack? Yeah, sold. So here, I just look at a few things so you can see how this is now, whoops, oh, there's a blank one. Obviously, I have shuffled this because I did pull a card just to see how it felt, but yeah, and there's just so much information on all of these. There's a lot to work with in addition to the imagery. So I'm excited to add this one to my collection. And even the sort of the pips, the minors, they are a nice mix of imagery and pippishness. So I feel like I generally don't do well with pip cards. I mean, I get the intellectual cognitive thing that's going on, but sometimes I just can't get those intuitive hits that I want, and I'm very much at this point in my life an intuitive reader. Oh, I like that it came up with this 10 of stones on top. So while I was looking at this, I thought about this deck that I have, this Goddess Knowledge cards. And I thought, oh, it's going to go well with that. And I was right. Look how nice that is. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy about this pairing. Right? Sort of looks good. So I enjoy these decks that bring in information, knowledge from multicultural decks. So that is a wonderful thing. So that was my little deck haul. And then I got a few souvenirs. This that's sitting here, that was a gift from my son-in-law, and this is just a pretty thing. Then I went to another shop. I'm going to have some more tea here. Oh. Then I went to another shop that had, they were very, I mean, if you just look at it, you go, oh, the Viking shop. But it's not just the Viking shop, but it is those Eastern, for me, Eastern energy places. And I got a couple of things there. So this is a dyed heart, but it's supposed to be, according to them, I mean, it's a dyed stone, sort of a protection, keep things, energies that you don't want away from you. So I got two of these. This is actually bone. I had a lot of questions about where things were coming from, and they said this was a buffalo bone, and they weren't sure where it was from, but I decided, okay. So I got one for myself and one for my daughter. And then I got a hagstone. Now I'm super happy to have a hagstone finally. I've been looking for a hagstone for years. I felt like I need a hagstone and I have to find it, right? You tell yourself these things. Oh. I love tea so much. You tell yourself these things, but I don't know, I just wasn't finding it. But they had these for sale there, which seemed to, well, I guess it tracks, you know, so they were doing like Icelandic, Norway, Viking types of things in that shop. And so I asked where they were from, and they said they get them from two places, Israel and I forget the second place, but they were pretty sure that this one was from Israel. So then I was like, oh, do I want something from Israel? But you know what? I just can't. The current political stuff that's happening, I decided I'm going to bless this. I'm going to purify it. And yeah, so now I'm going to have a hagstone. So I'm very happy about that. All right, so I'll just close out and say what I took away from my trip to Salem this time was I got a couple of decks that are in keeping with my current philosophy and spiritual path that I'm on. And I'm totally inspired by piracy right now. And the idea of pirating the patriarchy is, yeah, I'm going with it. And then I just, to bounce off just a little bit, I did get out my Stardust Wanderer deck because it's the closest thing I have to a pirate deck, and I'm going to re-look that. Did my morning reading with that this morning. So anyway, if you ever have the chance to go to Salem, I strongly suggest that you do it. You just never know what you're going to find. There are so many lovely shops, and just, you know, you don't even have to shop. Just being there, just being in that space. There are so many levels of spirituality and witchcraft that have happened and are happening and will be happening. I just feel like it gets you in that continuum of the spiritual path that, if you're on my channel, you're on. So yeah, I just encourage everybody to take that opportunity to visit there if you ever can. And you don't have to spend money. It's fine. Just be there. All right, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button on your way out if you can. It does so much for me. Bye-bye.